One popular seasonal song posits that the last month of the Roman calendar is, quote, the most wonderful time of the year. And in 2022, the USVI seems ready to supply the proof of that saying with a host of in-person events back after being forced into a pandemic-related pause. 2022 marked the return of the Croix food and wine experience after a 3-year hiatus, with eager patrons flocking to the Bulke International Aviation Hangar on December 1st for the signature Wine in the Warehouse event. Despite only having the one main event instead of the customary several, in a nod to pandemic-related precautions, the return of the Croix Foundation's food and wine experience was well received. The Wine in the Warehouse extravaganza coincided with the completion of the private carrier's new hangar and was dubbed the perfect location due to its open-air setting. 8 restaurants participated this year, and for the first time, the event featured a celebrity chef. The foundation traditionally includes the St. Croix Career and Technical Education Center in the event, and this year was no different. CTech students, along with celeb chef Shafrika Simmons, were on site serving meals. While soft jazz played in the background, elegantly attired guests patronized the vendors and participated in a silent auction, scanning a QR code that took them to a website where they could place bids on art, handmade crafts, gift certificates, and more. Participants toured some of the private planes in the hangar, tasted fine wines paired with a variety of cheeses, fruits, locally prepared dishes from local restaurants, and danced to the sounds of jazz music. This weekend, the streets of St. Croix lit up with the mobile lantern motorcade under the theme Culture, Heritage, and Tradition. The event was born out of the pandemic when in 2020, COVID restrictions halted in-person interactions. The motorcade continues this year after being well received by the public. The mobile Christmas light show presented by the Crucian Cultural Group featured several vehicles adorned in holiday decorations and lights as they honked horns and played music through the streets. The parade started at the Ricardo Richards School and traveled through multiple neighborhoods, proceeding down King Street in Christiansted before ending at the Canigata Ballpark in Gallows Bay. The weekend festivities continued into Sunday with the Lechon Festival. The celebration of the traditional Puerto Rican delicacy returned after being paused since 2019 and received ample support from patrons who flocked to the Asado Crucian Latin Grill, a restaurant in Castle Coakley, for lively food and delicious eats. The Lechon Festival, in its 14th year, is where the entire territory gathers to celebrate Hispanic heritage and influence in the USVI. Notable patrons included First Lady Yolanda Bryan, who was spotted dancing to the evening's pulsating rhythms. Other attendees participated in a domino tournament and a 50-50 raffle, highlights of the event. Proceeds from the raffle will go to the St. Croix Dolphins swim team. Festival President Jose Nieves was elated that the Lechon Festival could continue from where it left off in the advent of the COVID-19 pandemic. Nieves said that despite initial concerns about the new location, the festival turned out to be an amazing experience for both vendors and guests. This year's organizing committee honored Cynthia Sains for her dedication in serving the community. According to Nieves, Sains has worked with the Dolphin swim team for years. Sains said she was overjoyed to have been selected for the honor this year, since she'd never thought she would have been chosen. Towards the end of the evening, one woman who identified herself as Marisol and said she was a regular attendee of the Lechon Festival told consortium journalists that she was thrilled to be back outside following the relaxation of COVID-era restrictions. Quote, "This year I was looking forward to seeing people," Marisol told us. "I miss seeing everyone." As activities continue throughout the month, art enthusiasts will be able to feed their passion this coming weekend as the prolific fine art exhibition returns with over 30 creatives on December 10th and 11th. Ileana B. Artistry, a small business committed to fostering spaces that are dedicated to the arts and to creative expression, is hosting its second annual fine art exhibit, where participants are promised a fully immersive experience that taps into all 5 senses. Attendees will also be treated to a guided tour of the exhibition, according to Eliana Schuster-Brown, a well-known creative on the Big Island whose sip and paint events are regularly sold out. Along with exhibits from over 30 of the best artists on St. Croix, creatives from St. Thomas will also have their work on display. The event will also cater to patrons of the literary arts, with a book release and signing part of the weekend's activity. The goal of this year's event, according to Ms. Brown, is to, quote, improve and expand the way we provide safe space for local creatives as we are forming healthier relationships with ourselves by tapping into our inner child.